You gotta wear the hat. Represent. It's better with it off, bro. You just got a haircut, bro. He paid $50 for a haircut, and then he just threw a hat on.
Man,
that's crazy.
Haircuts and got expensive.
I know, right?
That's crazy.
That shit used to be $10.
Not no more.
Not no more. That's the tip now.
Dog.
That's the tip. Give him $5 so you can say we gonna talk about. That's gonna be a hot topic, bro. Get it.
What's up? It's your boy Los. You're watching the Flava Podcast, and I'm across right now from my boy, my partner, JJ. What's up, JJ?
What's up, my brother? I am so excited for today's episode. We have a special guest. Man, can't wait.
I've been waiting for this one for a while.
Yes, sir. It's been a while.
Huge fan of his. Ever since I think early 2007, 2008, when I first met this gentleman. But man, what's going on with you, man? What's going on this week?
This week, you know what, man? It's just me and my dog, man. Just me and my puppy, just working, trying to get the studio up and going. You know, just adding more stuff to it, just higher grade stuff. You know, this is a hobby that I love doing, and I'm excited, man. Just the simple things in life, man. It doesn't have to be big all the time.
This is our. Is this our third interview
it's our
at
fourth.
the new studio?
This is our third, absolutely, because we flew out, right?
We flew out for the first one,
yeah,
which was it Ricky Lewis?
Yep.
Yeah, we flew out to LA.
Yep.
And then they went out there. That was fun.
Yep.
I got robbed though.
Sorry.
Hey, it happens to the best of us, brother.
It happens. So this is we're very honored right now for have this gentleman here, but we're not going to show you who he is yet. Because we're going to do hot topics. So, Jay, what's your hot topic?
So, check it out, man. For those that don't know, Wendy Williams. So, Wendy Williams has this documentary on Amazon Prime. Go check it out. So, for those, I'm pretty sure if you live under a rock, I mean, you're not living under a rock, but Wendy Williams was a big radio personality, right? So what's going on is she has a documentary now on Amazon Prime, and I suggest you guys go watch it. And the reason why, because she's breaking down all the events that's happened to her, right? So Wendy Williams was the type of person to put everybody's business out there, right? That was that's who she was, bro. Like she will put everybody's business, right?
Yeah, definitely.
And now she's putting her business, right? So a lot of people call that what? Karma, right?
Yeah.
You out there, you're making your life. I mean, the way you make your money in your life is by talking about other people and gossiping about other people. So now it's her gossiping about herself, right? She has no choice because everything's on the news. But it's so sad to see her. You know, two wrongs don't make a right. I'm not that type of person where I'm like, okay, you're gonna be like that with me. I'm not gonna be like that with you. Some people take a different direction, right? Just to see somebody now being on the other end of that is ridiculous. So I seen the first episode. I can't wait to see the second one. And yeah, man, that's my topic, man. Wendy Williams, man.
So when she has dementia, is that what's going on?
She has a little bit of that. She has a little bit of drinking problems. She's constantly, even on the documentary where she's narrating what's going on, she's actually drinking, right? And just to see her in tears and her husband and her doing cocaine.
Wait, she's doing cocaine?
She's done cocaine that everybody knows.
No, I'm saying she's doing cocaine on those episodes.
Oh, she's not. They're not gonna let her do cocaine on. Who knows? I don't know if she went to the washroom or not. We don't know, but she's not gonna do it on the camera.
Yeah.
You know, but she's sipping though. You know what I'm saying? She's real emotional.
Allegedly, she's doing cocaine.
Or she's speaking on it.
She's speaking on her habit and going to rehab and whatnot. So she's breaking all that down.
Yeah.
Y'all
the thing
gotta check it out.
about that is, man, I know Wendy Williams had put out like Method Man's wife had like some type of illness and nobody knew about it, and she exposed it, and they was trying to keep that really tight within the family. Right. And Method Man was like so mad about it. Like she not even in the spotlight. My wife don't have nothing to do with entertainment.
That's private,
and we're
man.
doing it's a private matter and you making it public. So now when it turns around, right, and Wendy Williams is going through everything that she's going through, it's a sad thing because, you know, you never wish that upon anybody.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, a lot of people don't feel bad for her because of what she's done to several artists. You know what I'm saying? You know, but at the end of the day, we are human. We all make mistakes. And I don't fault her for her mistakes because we all make them. You know what I'm saying?
We do.
And it's just an unfortunate situation.
Yeah.
So he started talking, so we're gonna have to introduce you.
Yeah, I know.
He couldn't help it. He wanted to jump in.
It's
a
He had
topic.
something to say, and
Absolutely.
he said it. Yo, ladies and gentlemen, the man is on the table right now. We're gonna still finish our hot topics. Is Astonish? Put your hands together for Astonish.
Hey, what's going on? Gratitude,
Welcome,
and it's a
fam.
Thank you
blessing.
for jumping in, man. Thank you for jumping in. We should have gave you a hot topic too to say.
No, I got a hot topic.
You got a hot topic?
Yeah,
All right, go
I got
for
a
it.
hot
Before I do
topic.
mine,
So
go ahead
this
and do
is
yours.
something that I just seen, man, and it's from the ID Network. They got a documentary out right now that's based off of Nickelodeon, and there's a guy that ran Nickelodeon and ran a bunch of shows at Nickelodeon. His name was Dan Schneider, and he did all of this foul, crazy stuff to these kids. You know, Nickelodeon's a kids network.
Right,
They
growing-
try to do like a kids SNL over there, and he would add like pornographic stuff, elements towards the sketches that they were doing.
So they're really risque. They didn't do
Yes.
the porn, but it was
Yes.
like they knew
Yes.
what they were going
So they
with
was
this.
touching on crazy stuff. You know what I'm saying? They had like stuff like they would do a lot of things with pickles, and they had like this girl Amanda Bynes that was at Nickelodeon, got her start. She became a star at Nickelodeon. They had a one scene where she was trying to squeeze juice out of a potato and see if she could get the juice out of it. And it was like really pornographic, but it's showing you all of these dark elements, and you see why some of these entertainers, these child entertainers, end up like with their brains messed up. You know what I'm saying? Because they've been through all of this trauma. They ain't really know how to develop it. And he was getting them to push out their parents to get emancipated from their parents.
A few of them actually did it,
Yeah. So it's a really cool documentary to check out. It's really popular right now, and it's got the pot stirring. I actually even heard like it's probably the end of Nickelodeon just based off of all of this stuff. You know what I'm saying? So it's a really triggering thing. So especially if you got children, to go into this and watch this and see what was done to these kids is a really traumatic experience, but it is a good watch, and it is knowledge, you know what I'm saying? And I feel like even the traumatic things you gotta instill in your brain, because these things can happen to anybody. So really get enough knowledge about everything, even the traumatic experiences, so you can know how to adapt through life.
Yeah, they're even saying they want what's her name, Adriana, the singer.
Grande?
Yup.
That she knows some stuff, but she won't talk. Well,
Yeah,
they're thinking that she knows some stuff.
No, they
but she
actually
won't talk.
had her in scenes.
Okay.
Yeah, and so that's in the doc too. They actually had her in scenes, so they show all of that stuff.
Damn.
It's crazy.
So even though she's not a part of the doc, they have clips. These are things that's documented.
What network is it?
The ID Network.
Damn, I'm
So
gonna have
but
to
you
check
can
that out,
I
man.
checked it out. I got HBO Max. They got it on there on HBO Max. And it's a good watch.
Damn.
Well, on a different note,
It's a great topic, man.
we're
Thank
going
you.
to be talking about right now Mike Tyson and Jake Paul. Fight's coming up June 18th. You guys going to watch it?
I'm gonna watch it. I watch Jake Paul fights. I think that he's a good fighter. He's not really fighting the greatest of competition, but he has also he's fought UFC fighters. You know,
Anderson Silva. So for
Anderson
those,
Silva.
So Silva. So for if you're into UFC, he's one of the top. If you had a Mount Rushmore of the best fighter ever on UFC, his face will be there.
Yeah,
right?
most definitely.
And he knocked him.
Yeah, he knocked
He
him.
knocked him, man. And you know,
You knocked Jake Paul?
No, Jake Paul knocked him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how's this? in your mind, how is this Mike Tyson Jake Paul fight going to come out?
I think Mike still look good,
still
man.
Iron Mike? You still Iron Mike?
I don't know if he Iron Mike, and I'm not gonna say how this fight gonna go because I really truly don't know. I think honestly, I think it's a lose-lose for Jake Paul because at the end of the day, if you knock out Mike Tyson, you done knock out like a 50-something-year-old. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he know 50 knows something.
No, he's 50-some.
He's 50-something?
Oh, yeah.
I'm 50.
He
No,
50
he's
older than me.
50-some. No, he is, but...
High 50 then.
Yeah, he a high 50.
Go ahead, y'all talk. I'm gonna
Look it up.
Look it up,
So,
man.
like...
High 50s.
I don't
right?
know how much stripes you get off of that. Now, on the flip side, if Mike Tyson knock him out, people are going to be like, that's Iron Mike Tyson. You know what I'm saying?
Man.
But I don't think people going to take too much away from him if he lose the fight.
Mm-hmm.
You know? So, at the end of the day, it's a money grab, but it is entertainment. And it's something that I would want to see, and I'm going to watch.
I'm going to watch. I'm going to try to have it here. Mike Tyson is 57 years old.
See?
There you
And
go.
Jake Paul is how old?
Like 20-something, maybe 30.
Yeah.
Let's look at this.
That's like fighting. That's like beating on the elderly. You know what I'm saying? But then if Mike
Man,
looking good out
Listen,
here.
I hope the rumors on the internet are not real because what they're saying is that there is already a way of how the fight's going to go, right? And Mike Tyson's going to take a certain amount of money, right? Because at the end of the day, it's about the bag, right? You got the best fighter, heavyweight fighter ever. One of the youngest fighters that won the belt at 18 years old. I mean, nobody wanted to. I remember watching Mike Tyson as a kid, bro.
Yeah.
And I remember the first bell will ring, ding, 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 ding. I'll be like, I'm going to grab something to drink. I will go to the refrigerator.
And it's over.
And it's over, bro.
It's over.
It's over. Pay-per-view and everything. You should spend like $60, $70.
Yep,
Back
yep.
then was a lot of money,
Fight
too.
over with. And the fear that he instilled in this competition.
Oh,
like
my
so his
God, bro.
opponents was shaking in their boots.
Yes.
So I don't think that Mike Tyson is the greatest boxer ever.
Ooh, okay.
I think it's Muhammad Ali.
Okay.
And I think after that is Floyd Mayweather. But I look at Mike Tyson the same way I looked at Shaq. So Shaq not the greatest basketball player ever.
Okay.
But he was the most dominant. And I think that Mike Tyson is the most feared boxer to ever step in the ring. You know what I'm saying?
I will have to agree with that.
You know,
As far-
because Mike Tyson, his legacy, like, you know, he has stains on that. You know, he has the Evander Holyfield fight. He has the Buster Douglas. You know, he got those things. But he also dealt with a whole lot of traumatic things in life that led him down. Like, if he didn't do drugs and he wasn't doing all of that.
Oh, he would have killed it.
Man, how
He
much
would've
of a
killed it.
greater boxer could
Oh,
he
my
have
God.
been? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, but Jake Paul, I do give him his credit because I do think that he's
Yeah.
a better boxer than a lot of the.
he's getting better and better.
A lot of people give him credit for.
Yeah.
But we'll see how this fight goes, man.
Can't wait.
Can't wait myself. So right now we want to introduce formally our boy, my guy. Like I said, I'm a big, huge fan of this man. It's hip hop. It's real hip hop. It's not watered down hip hop. It's that hip hop where it's that Henny shot. You know, we were talking about liquor. I can't do any liquor, but it's that Henny shot. You're gonna take that shot and it's gonna hit you hard. You're gonna feel that burn. This is that man. He's right in front of us. He goes by the name of Astonish.
Thank you, my brother.
What's up, Astonish? Let's do this one more time.
Hey,
One
man.
more time.
That's a good introduction right there, man. Thank you. Gratitude, man.
So what have you been doing for the last 15 years?
Man, the last 15 years, I would say to sum it up, I've been just living life, man. And I think that that's the best way to go about making music because without life, there is no music. So I just been taking in all of my experiences, everything that life has to offer, all of the ups, the downs, the goods, the bads, the highs, the lows, man. And just living through it, man. And also creating music. So I've never stopped making music. Still to this day, I got an EP that is finished up. It just needs to be mixed and mastered. And I don't think that there's a time in life where I will ever be done with music. I really feel like it's a crucial moment now, like that I'm getting older, to make music for people that are my peers, that are of my age range. Because now when you turn on the radio and you listen to music, at people of our age, like how many songs apply to your life? You know what I'm saying?
Not many.
I can't hear nothing on the radio that apply to my life, on my lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? So I think that it's more of a thing that I have to put on my shoulders, because we're like, I'm speaking for the voiceless right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't have a voice out here. And so I got to maintain and make sure that I can speak to my peers and give them something to listen to.
Yeah, to be honest, I don't even turn on the radio in the car.
Yeah, and when you do, you listening to your old stuff.
I'm going to WGCI, man, and trying to listen to some old stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Because what I'm hearing now is it's just not, one, it's not good for my ears. I don't need to hear all that stuff. You know, I got a kid, I got a daughter, you know, I got a wife, you know, I got a mom, and that stuff doesn't put them in the right position in my mind. So, yeah, I go back to the oldies, man.
Yeah. I definitely feel that. I'm a new father. So my son,
congratulations.
Yeah,
man.
he's 2 years old.
2 years old. All right. Terrible twos, huh?
Yeah, man. He was terrible before the two. But I let him get away with it. But, you know, he don't really understand what's on the radio, so I don't really have from that standpoint yet.
Word.
But for me, I kind of separate the things that, you know, if I'm dealing with a woman or I'm dealing with children or whatever, of course, I'm going to play something different for them. But at the end of the day, when I get in the car and I'm solo dolo, I got to play those things that relate to me. You know what I'm saying? So I always bring it back to the essence. Got to bring it back to the essence, man. Because I do like some ignorance in my stuff, too. You know what I'm saying? So I got to have a little measure of ignorance, especially when I'm on the road.
I feel you. So, what was your first album? What was it called?
From Now Until Forever.
And how many songs were in that album?
See, now you're asking me something that's hip hop trivia right there.
That's coming up soon.
Man, I don't know. Maybe it was like 12 or something. It was. I know it was like less than an hour of a listen. Okay. You know, and I like to make a lot of my projects like that. So I don't like to make it super time consuming, because I know a lot of people don't have a lot of time in the day. I like it to be like, man, I could ride to work and ride back home and get through this project and be satisfied. You know what I'm saying? No fillers, no nothing like that. You could just ride through and let it play. You know what I'm saying? But me putting out my first project, From Now Until Forever, that's my baby. But even in doing that, I felt like, you know, at the time, I was supposed to have a in-house producer that was really making a lot of the beats for me, and he didn't really come through for me. So I got a lot of beats from Moment, who I was signed to at that time, and it was cool still, you know what I'm saying, because Moment got banging beats, but I didn't feel like that album really told my story. It really just kind of told that, like, I could rap a little bit, you know what I'm saying? So when I came out with my next project after that, I really made it a point to really, like, showcase who I am and what I'm about and tell my life stories. You know, From Now Until Forever was kind of more like a I got bars type of thing. But it's like the Tupac and Biggie conversation, right? So Biggie got bars for sure, but Tupac didn't even have to do that. He could hit you with something that about life that just touch you, that you didn't even need a bar and it was a bar. You know what I'm saying? So when I started listening to that, I'm like, you know, I gotta really make something that, like, touch people's spirit and not just, like, glorify, like, my technical abilities.
So what album was that?
That was the Astonishingly Odd project. That was the next project that I did after that. And I hold them very close to me, because one was just my initial start. That's From Now Until Forever. That's what introduced me to the whole game. But the Astonishingly Odd project, it opened me up to like people really knowing who I am as a person, not just the artist, not just the person that could spit bars, but got substance behind it all. You know what I'm saying? Word. That got life, that's dealing with life and these experiences, and hopefully it could help somebody else to get through something.
Word. So Astonish, I always ask this question because I find it intriguing. From 10 years old to 20 years old, who were you?
I would say at 10 years old, I probably didn't even know who I was at that time. You know, I was just somebody with a group of friends, and I was loyal to my friends. And that probably put me in some bad places in doing that. And as I grew, I became an artist. And being an artist, it kind of is like, it's kind of like Superman and Clark Kent. You know what I'm saying? It's like you live your regular life and then you put your cape on. You know what I'm saying? So it was a really surreal feeling. You know, I got signed to Moment like in my early 20s. And I started doing shows. I started opening up for like Yellow Wolf and Bun B of UGK, and doing shows at House of Blues and getting on the road and being on tour and stuff. So it was like a whole culture shift, you know? And I'm going on the road and doing these shows and then coming back and living regular life. You know what I'm saying? So it was just these surreal experiences that I never took for granted and that I always hold really deeply with me. But from 10 to 20, it's a whole different situation, because I knew that I had to get away from certain environments that I was in and certain people that I was around in order to achieve the things that I wanted to achieve in life.
When did you know that you wanted to be an artist?
Really early on. I would say maybe like 13. I think I wrote my first rap at like 13. And I was just me and my little friend group. And we was all trying to kick a little rhyme, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But mine's kind of stood out a little bit more. It wasn't so super crazy, but it was just like how I was flowing it, you know what I'm saying? I was a big like Lil Wayne fan back in the day. It's just how he rode the beat and stuff. And like, I'm talking about like his first album type of thing, you know? And all these things before he got glamorized. Like the Lights Out album, people were like, what's that? I ain't never listened to that. That was one of my favorite albums, you know what I'm saying? And so like flow was like really important to me. I had a rap partner at the time. When I first started off, I was in a rap group. It was called RNA. And he was the one that was like, you gotta incorporate a little bit more bars in your rhymes, you know what I'm saying? Listen to more Jadakiss and stuff like that. And then I started incorporating those elements to what I was doing and getting a little bit more technical. But from an early age, I already knew that I wanted to rap. And I thought I was like one of the best too. You know what I'm saying?
You got to, though. You got to be one of the best. That's hip-hop.
That's the thing with hip-hop. Like, and you gotta just have that confidence about yourself, because if not, then you really putting yourself at a disadvantage. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody else out here think that they the best too. Mm-hmm. But yeah, to answer your question, at a really young age,
who influenced you? Who was your influences when getting into hip hop?
Big L was definitely one of the key factors. Rest in peace. One of the best to ever do it. Big Pun, of course.
All day.
Pac, like I said, Biggie, Jadakiss, Lil Wayne, like I mentioned, early Method Man, the whole Wu-Tang, you know what I'm saying? Okay. Yeah, Tribe Called Quest, Common, let me bring it back home, Common, yes. Twista, Crucial Conflict, Do or Die, like all of them, you know what I'm saying? So I definitely got a whole lot of inspiration from the crib. Even Lupe, and Lupe is a little bit closer to even when I was coming out. You know what I'm saying? But all of those things, like just and not even rap, man. Just like music in general. How I like before I even knew how to write bars, or compose music. my mother, she used to like songs so much. So she'll tell me, I like this song, but I don't know the lyrics. So write the lyrics down for me so I can understand it better. So I would write down these songs that wasn't even mine. I'm writing the songs down, and it taught me how to format music without me even realizing. You know what I'm saying?
That's awesome.
So I would write like "Dear Mama" from Tupac. I'll write that down for her so she could understand it.
Shouts out to Mama. Shouts out to Mama.
And it put me deep in tune with why I love music and why I love words in the first place. My favorite class in school was English class. You know what I'm saying?
Word?
English and literature. I love writing. I love poetry, all of those things. So just the things that you could do with words became endless. And it could take you out of your life that you live in. You could make a whole different world than the environment that you live in just come to life. You know what I'm saying? And that really impressed me. So with music, I was like, this is my niche. This is what I do. Like, this is what I live and breathe for.
Amen to that, bro. Amen to that. I felt that. Do you have any siblings?
Yeah. I got a brother. I got some sisters. You know what I'm saying? So, but I'm the oldest.
Okay, you're also what, 4 or 5?
Yeah. Well, 2 that's from my mom.
Word.
And then I got another 2 on my father's side, and then I only got 1 brother that's on my mom's side too.
Okay, cool. So right now we do a little segment. It's really an icebreaker. Even though we didn't do it, we can do it right now because it's always fun to do. Mm-hmm. So it's either or. You pick one.
Okay.
But you have to explain why you picked it.
Let's get it.
So like I said, they're real silly. So I know you're Puerto Rican, right?
Yeah. I'm black and Puerto Rican.
Black and Puerto Rican. All right. Well, that's just being black or Puerto Rican because that's what we are, right?
Yeah, man. It's
that's
part
all
of
of
the
us are,
bloodline,
right?
man. For those that don't know, you know the 3 stripes on the Puerto Rican flag is from Taino Indian, African American, and Spaniard. Yeah. Those are the 3 bloodlines. So for y'all Puerto Ricans that don't know that, I had to have one of my Puerto Rican brothers, a friend of mine, explain the culture to me. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times we don't know the culture. And especially on the black side, y'all don't be knowing y'all culture. Black people in America are the most displaced people in the world. You don't know where your roots is from. So the fact that I don't know that part of my history, I'm glad that I'm half Puerto Rican and I can at least know my culture from that standpoint.
Word. Well, here we go. White rice or Puerto Rican yellow rice?
Puerto Rican yellow rice, man.
Why?
It's just so much more flavor to that joint. You know what I'm saying? White rice, you gotta throw something on it. You know what I'm saying? You can eat it the way it is. That's cool. But Puerto Rican rice, come on, man. That's a meal in itself. You don't even need no additions to that. You just eating the rice. That's a whole meal right there.
Yeah. All right. Tom or Jerry?
It gotta be Jerry, man. Tom will always running into stuff, he getting hurt. He trying to catch Jerry. He can't never catch Jerry. Jerry always on top, so it gotta be Jerry.
Yeah. Word. Chicago Cubs or Chicago Sox?
Chicago Cubbies, man.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, to the day I die, man. I'm a North Sider, so I love the Cubs. I actually used to work at Wrigley Field.
Nice.
Really?
Yeah,
That's
I used to work at Wrigley Field when they had Sammy Sosa, Mark Pryor. You know what I'm saying?
He's coming back.
He
was already here.
Listen,
as a manager or something like that.
That's not Sammy Sosa. I don't know if y'all seen him lately.
Are you saying the white version or the dark version?
That's not Sammy. That's not slamming Sammy over there. You know.
You think he got cloned?
Actually, I don't even like Sammy Sosa because when I worked there, he showed me things about his personality that I didn't like. Like, you know, he would do things for the cameras. So I seen him one time. We had like an event where they let like the first 100 people come onto the field.
Word.
So I had to stand out there and kind of rope people off so they wouldn't like touch the ivy or they wouldn't go up to the bases. You know, the players was out there. So I seen this woman come up with her kid and she go up to Sammy Sosa and she like, yo, Sammy, can you sign his jersey? Can you sign a ball or something? And he was like, I don't sign balls, I only sign jerseys.
What?
Yeah, and then the camera turned toward him, and then he was like, come here, and he signed it. But I was like, man, you just really did that, bro.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? And it kind of changed my mentality on him. You know who was cool? Moises Alou.
Okay.
Man, just a stand-up dude.
Okay.
And I will say Dusty Baker was working there at the time, and at the end of the season, he took us all to Sluggers.
Okay.
Right there in
Across the street,
Wrigleyville.
yeah.
Yup, right across the street. And he had a whole big party for us, the people that worked there. You know what I'm saying?
That's love.
So, even when I went and I was working there, I wasn't the biggest fan of baseball like that. Mm-hmm. But I grew a deeper appreciation and love for the Cubs organization. Cause just being there and seeing the lifelong fans that got the season ticket holders that's just waiting for a championship. We was the lovable losers for a long time. You know what I'm saying?
Long time.
But we won that thing. You know what I'm saying?
Fine. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And we won it a lot more recently than the White Sox did.
So
you know what I'm saying?
what did you do for the Cubs?
I was an usher.
What does the usher do?
So I sat people at their seats and stuff.
Okay. So you chilled.
Yeah, I was chilling. I was watching. They give you a little seat there. You watch the game. Yeah, so
they paid you to watch the game.
Yeah,
I think that, John.
So, but when it went to extra innings, that was overtime. And if you had plans, you was like, "Come on, man, y'all gotta do something. Come on, man." I ain't trying to be
we need 1, 2, 3 out.
Yeah, I ain't trying to be hemmed up in here.
So let me ask you something. So you mentioned Moses Alou, Sammy Sosa. Was that the year when Bartman reached out? Because
I was there that day.
You were there that day?
I was there that day.
No way.
I was there that day. It happened on the opposite side of the field from where I was at. But when it happened, I couldn't really see what happened from that vantage point. So I was like, wait, what? I thought he caught the ball the whole time.
Moses
but then
Alou.
he did the little motion. He was mad. I was like, man, what he tripping for? You know what I'm saying? So then everybody started shifting from where I was at. I was on the right side of the field. They started shifting to left field. So I started going up over there. They shuffled him into where we clock in at. That's where
because they wanted to whoop his ass.
Yeah,
That's
they
what
had
happened.
Bartman in where the employees go.
They had to usher him out.
Yeah, they ushered him up out of there. Yeah. And I felt bad for the dude, man, because, after that, you find out he's a lifelong Cubs fan. Oh. He listening to the game. Look, you gotta be diehard if you listening to the game and you at the game. You at the game and you listening to the game.
So it got a little dangerous.
It got hectic.
A little bit, man. He had to leave Chicago because he had threats everywhere. And
people found out where he lived at. You know, he lived in the outskirts. He actually coached the little league Chicago Cubs. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah,
it was horrible because that was the year we were killing it. We were killing it that year. We were actually game. We were going to go to the World Series.
Yep.
We would have won that game.
Yep.
And then I forgot who it was. I don't know. I forgot what team it was.
It was the Marlins.
It was a Florida.
Juan Pierre out there, and then we end up getting Juan Pierre.
And after that happened, we had another error, and they just came back and took it from there. Momentum change.
Yeah, but I wish we would have won it that year when I was working there.
I remember that. I was heartbroken that day.
They let me go because I got another job. You know, that job is seasonal. Yeah. So you got to make it to enough games. And if you can't make it to enough games, then they, but they gave you $1 raise every year that you came there.
Every season?
Mm-hmm.
Word.
Yep. So it's a lot of old timers up there that's retired. Yeah. And they got the job of a lifetime because you get to go to every game for free. You sitting there, you get to watch, chill. Unless you in the tunnels, it's cold in the tunnels, man.
So, you been to New York before?
Yup. I spent the week in New York.
Wait a second, I got a question.
Okay, what's up?
New York pizza or Chicago pizza?
Chicago pizza all day, man. I'm always going for the home team, man.
Yeah.
Why Chicago pizza?
Chicago pizza. Well, what
makes it better?
It depends on what people consider Chicago pizza.
So
a lot of the times when
people
say Chicago pizza, they think it's just deep dish. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
deep dish is cool, but Chicago make a great thin crust. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And I take Chicago's thin crust over New York's thin crust any day. Any day of the week.
I agree.
You mean New York's pie? Because they call it pie.
Whatever you want to call it, man, it's not better. You know what I'm saying? It's not better. It's not better.
So what's your pizza joint here in Chicago?
Pequod's.
Come on, somebody. That's the second time somebody says that.
Yes, sir,
That's
man.
my spot.
Pequod's.
I've been going there since I was 13 years old.
That's my joint.
Yeah.
And there's also another one called Chicago Pizza and Oven Grinders that I really love a lot.
That was on Lincoln, right?
Yup.
Yeah. I haven't been there yet.
It's good, man. It's a good environment too.
You're talking about with that bowl?
With the bowl.
Yeah.
My mom used to call it pizza in the bowl.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
so like
man.
back when we was younger, she'd be like, "Oh no, you got to be grown to go over there." Then I started going over there as a dog. Like, you ain't gotta be grown to come up over here. You just ain't want to take me. Just ain't want to take me. But it's cool though.
So next question: Biggie or Tupac?
Tupac.
Why Tupac?
I feel like Biggie meant more to rap, and I feel like Tupac meant more to the world. You know, like he would have changed culture and the atmosphere, and he spoke for the voiceless. You know, he had a lot of intellect, and to think that he died so young and he already had that intellect, it amazes me. You know what I'm saying? And it's why he's still spoken of highly to this day.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So Pac just had a lot that went on with his past, you know, just his mom being a Black Panther and going through that and being from the East Coast and traveling to the West, you know. And I think people blow that whole East and West Coast thing out of proportion. You know, it was just really a record label against a record label.
That's what it was.
You know, and people lost their lives over it, unfortunately. Yeah. But man, imagine what Tupac could have did. You know, even Nipsey Hussle, he kind of remind me of that element of just what you would have did for the world, not even just through music.
Yeah.
In the little time they were here, they're making big changes.
Yeah.
So I could agree on what you're saying. They would have been here a little longer.
For sure.
We actually went to Crenshaw.
Oh, man.
Yeah, we got videos and pictures. We were over there. And
we were by a store.
Yeah.
The marathon.
It's unfortunate, man.
Yeah, man.
It's unfortunate.
All the greats go early.
Yeah, but hopefully, like, these are lessons and not just something that happened, an unfortunate circumstance. Hopefully, people could take something from that and learn how to move a little bit differently and understand that, man, when you're going through life and you successful, it's people that always want to bring that down, man. They don't like success, especially
don't like that, man.
Especially if you don't share that same success.
Yeah.
You know,
Batman or Superman?
Superman, man. Batman is just a regular person, man. Superman could do everything. He shoot lasers out his eyes. He fly. He's super fast. He bulletproof. The only thing that could hurt him is the kryptonite.
Yeah.
And if he starts smoking that, he probably get used to it a little bit. I'm just saying. You know what I'm saying? Then even that won't hurt him.
About that.
You become immune to it, huh?
Yeah. Start manufacturing.
What's up? It's your boy Los LOS, and you're watching the Flava Podcast. Today, we got the author that wrote Open the Heavens. That book came out in March 2021. And today, he's got a new book. It's called The Epitome of Greatness. Who I got across from me? I got the author, the one that wrote this new book, Stephen A. Keys. Welcome, Stephen A. Keys.
Los, thank you for having me, man. I am super, super excited to be here.
Man, thank you for coming. Thank you for coming. So the first book you wrote was Open the Heavens. What made you write that book?
Yeah. So I was inspired by God to write the book. It was a book that gave a little history about my personal life, as well as my relationship with God and how I got to build such an intimate relationship with God through prayer. And it's 8 chapters, and I believe it's somewhat like a guide to help those who want to find their way into the things of God. I think it's an incredible book.
So that book came out about 3 years ago, correct?
Yeah, correct. It came out in March of 2021.
Okay. So this is a new book for 2024.
Yes.
Now, what's this book about?
This book, The Epitome of Greatness, well, I got this book. I was in a small cafe eating breakfast around 13 years ago in the year 2011, and God just dropped this title in my spirit, and I had to go through some life experiences, some ups, some downs, some good, some bad, some ugly, and here we are today, man, with The Epitome of Greatness, and I'm excited about it.
Okay. So if I open this book up and go to a chapter, can you talk about it?
Yeah, we can chime in a little bit on it.
Okay, so let's go. You know what? Let's go to the first chapter, chapter 1. What's chapter 1 about?
Yeah, chapter 1. The first chapter is entitled "Against All Odds." It's a story about the life of David when he fought Goliath. It's a very famous story. It's about being defiant, courageous, confident, and having your faith in God. And oftentimes, God will give the hardest battles to the best soldiers, and we see that in that chapter 1, "Against All Odds."
Okay, awesome. So where can they find these books at? The first book, Open the Heavens, the one that was written about 3 years ago, and the new book right here is written for this year, 2024. Where can we find these books?
And you can find these books on Amazon.com, both Open the Heavens and The Epitome of Greatness. We have an ebook for The Epitome of Greatness and the paperback.
Awesome. Look, if you go to New Life Covenant, you might catch Pastor Stephen A. Keys there. So if you bring your book with you, he might sign it for you.
Yeah.
So go ahead and buy the book. Do that today. You know what? Do it right now. It's already on Amazon. Thank you, Pastor Stephen A. Keys, for coming down to the Flava Podcast.
Thank you, Los. I appreciate you.
Size big.
North side, like Albany Park, is where I grew up in. My family's from Humboldt Park. So I grew up in Humboldt Park as a child, and then moved to Albany Park around Portage Park and stuff like that.
So I'm the same way. When they ask me what side of Chicago you from, I'm from everywhere.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Because I grew up in Bucktown, Wicker Park, Humboldt Park, Logan Square. I'm from everywhere, so I can't really claim like a whole.
That's me right there. That's me.
Yo, let me ask you something, man. You had one of your biggest hits. It's called "Can You Hear Me?"
Mm-hmm.
Tell us the process of that song and how did you come up with that song?
You know what's funny about that song? I was just signed to Moment Records and trying to wrap up the album, and it was supposed to be our last day in the studio. Mm-hmm. And I sat down with them and I was like, this album not finished. It's things that's missing on here. It's certain elements that's missing, and I'm not completing this album. I had a real problem with it. So they end up trying to be in a hurry, trying to rush, get me beats or whatever. I will say that, like, they really they didn't take me for granted over there. You know, I got a lot of love for Moment Records. They did right by me, and they tried to make sure that they gave me everything that I wanted.
And which album are you referring to?
From Now Until Forever.
Okay,
that's my first album.
Okay.
Yeah, that came out on my first album. Mm-hmm. So that was like one of the last beats that I actually got.
On the album?
Yeah. That was like one of the last beats. And DJ PNS, he's the one that produced that record.
Damn.
And I got that one, and I was like, yeah, this is the one I need. And that ended up being my first like single.
Yeah.
And the first video that I ever shot. It took 3 days, 12-hour shoots. And that was a whole experience too. And people at the time in Chicago weren't making videos like that. So the fact that my video was of quality like that, like, it ended up taking off. You know what I'm saying? And it just went real crazy. So when I was looking at the numbers going up, I'm like, hey, like, this is ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? But that song right there, that video right there, is the reason why anybody knows my name right now and who I am. You know what I'm saying?
Amen. Blessings to that. So think about it. My man had a gut feeling. So there was like 10 songs on that album, right?
Yeah. It was like 10, 12.
10, 12, right? So think about it. He's feeling some type of way. He's like, wait a minute, this project doesn't feel like there's something missing, like you mentioned, right?
Yep.
He listens to his intuition, which is great. And the song that he comes up with, Can You Hear Me, right? Mm-hmm. Ends up being the one that catapult him and took him there.
So you had your salt, you had your pepper, but they forgot to put the sazon.
Yeah, you missing the sazon. Come on, man. You can't do that to me.
When you got the sazon, it was ready to go.
Man, it was ready.
Damn.
I did Microphone Check after that. You know what I'm saying? It was a couple records, and it was like, yeah, those was necessary.
So when I hear about Microphone Check, 1, 2, what is it?
Yeah.
Who is that? Is that Gangstar? Or Guru. That's Guru, right? Microphone.
See, this hip hop trivia.
Oh no, no, it's Microphone Fiend.
Yeah, that's Microphone Fiend.
Okay, that's what I was getting. That's what I was getting confused with. But I love that. So how did that microphone? How did that come on?
Well, that's just
I like that concept, man. That name, that title.
Yeah, the microphone check is like, it's something that you do at shows, right? You're doing the mic check, you know what I'm saying? So the purpose of the mic check is to make sure that your sound quality is good and that people could hear you.
Right.
So that was the whole purpose behind that. It's like, I really want y'all to hear what I'm talking about.
Love
so it's
it.
microphone check.
Yes.
Y'all hear me out there? Am I clear? 1 2 1 2.
Come on, Astonish.
Yeah.
Come on. So, Astonish, is there an artist out there that you worked with, that you wanted to work with, and you actually did work with?
Yeah, my man Saba.
Okay.
From Pivot Gang. He's on Chance the Rapper's Acid Rap. He also did another joint with Chance, and he's done a bunch of albums out here. He's really blown up, man. He's like official out here. He was on the Dreamville records with J. Cole.
And he's from Chicago. He's a local artist from Chicago.
Yup.
What's
He's
his
from
name again?
Chicago and Austin. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, West Side, right?
Come on now.
Chicago
Come
and
on now.
Austin. His name's Saba, S-A-B-A. And I met him when he was really young. He produces and he raps. And this kid's just so talented. And actually, when I did the record with him, we had been wanting to work together for a while. And I came in the studio and he said, "What you want to do?" And I said, "Well, you said you always wanted to make a beat for me. So let's see
that
what."
him right there?
That's him right there.
All right.
I said, "Man, let me see what a beat sound like." And he made this beat, man, in like 20 minutes. And it was one of the most incredible things I heard. I was like, "Man, you just did that right now?" I'm like, it made me like a little self-conscious. I'm like, "Man, what I'm gonna do with this now?" So I'm sitting there, I'm trying to write, and I'm like under the pressure. Because this kid just so talented. And I remember writing, and he said, "Don't let the pressure get to you." And then that sparked a fire in me. I said, "Hold on, let me step outside real quick." Step outside, came back in, Superman came alive, dog. Then I just started going. That pen just started flowing. And we was doing the record, and I was in the booth. He was actually recording me as well. And he stopped the music, and he said, "Man, I'm really glad that we did this."
Words.
And like, that's the highest respect that you could get out of anything, is the respect from your peers, the people that know what it's like to do this and go in these trenches and really put the passion behind it, really got something to say. You know, so yeah, that's the artist I wanted to work with, and that's who I did work with. The other person is Twista. I actually tried to get him for a record, and it was gonna happen for a little while, but we just couldn't get like the budgeting in order. But one of my mans, Decay, his brother actually manages Twista. You know, his name's Raleigh, and he's managed Twista for a long time. So we was trying to get that together, but it just didn't work out. But Saba got a song with Twista.
Okay.
On one of his albums called GPS. It's really good, man. Y'all really gotta check out Saba.
Oh,
man.
I'm gonna check him out. I'm gonna check him out after this.
Yeah, he good, man.
So can you tell us of a happy moment, one of your best moments in your career?
Best moment in my career, I was doing an event somewhere on the south side. I can't really remember where it was at. But this lady came up to me and she said, "Yo, you're Astonish, right?" It's like, "Yeah, I'm Astonish." She said, "Man, my son loves you." And I was like, "Oh man, that's dope." She said his name is J-Def. You know, he's an artist too, but unfortunately he lost his life. And we used to be in the car listening to you. He would play your album all the time. And it's just like a great feeling to finally be able to meet you.
Wow.
And I didn't expect that. And in hearing that, I felt sad for the situation, but I felt like, man, at least music brought us to this bonding point. And, you know, I could establish some sort of healing for this woman. You know what I'm saying? And I always shout out J-Def, man, because that really meant something to me, to be able, when you making music, you don't know who it's gonna touch. You just making it for yourself, and you hope that somebody like it. So for it to touch him enough to share it with his mom, and for them to have that bonding experience, and then for me to be tied into it, that was probably the greatest feeling for me.
Yeah, that's awesome, because not only did you gain a fan in him, but also his mom.
Yeah.
Now that's a memory she has of you and him,
100%,
and her,
yeah,
in the car, jamming to your beats.
Yeah, man.
That's some love.
Yeah, man.
That's some love.
And the thing is, what's crazy about it too is they had murals of this kid. So when I was driving out there, I was actually seeing the murals of him on walls.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, J-Def, they had him up there. So I connected it after the fact because I didn't know who he was. And then I was like, man, that's really dope. And that his community showed him that love and that respect as well.
Wow. So we're talking about death right now. There was also a death that I know of that happened, and I feel like somewhat affected you a little bit.
For sure. My brother J. Trife.
Yeah.
Yeah. He passed away at 31 of cancer. You know what I'm saying? And like, damn, 31 for cancer to get you was the craziest thing, because I had to actually watch this man deteriorate before my eyes. You know what I'm saying? And it's one thing like seeing a dead body just stiff out here cold. You know what I'm saying? You walk past it, you don't even know who that person is. Damn, Chicago got somebody again. Mm-hmm. But to like watch somebody just die slow, and to still be able to have conversations with them, and then leave at the end of the day and know that your life stays the same and his life is changing dramatically. Mm-hmm. It weighed a ton on my shoulders. You know what I'm saying? I lost one of my best friends. Mm-hmm. And that was a hard thing for me to deal with and going through life, and even writing music, because he's an artist as well. And every time I go in the studio, I'll be thinking like, man, like this life ain't fair. You know what I'm saying? And it would always make me think about him. And it was hard to even get back into the groove of writing music and creating after that.
Did it stumble you a little bit?
Yeah, for sure, 100%, 100%. I really had to take my time to just fight up out of that. I was creating music that had me like in a really dark place, and it just wasn't no growth that came for that. Like, even if people heard it, they just be kind of stuck in that dark space where they at too. They could never see no silver lining. They could never see no hope from that. And I had to really get better myself in order for my music to get better, for me to give inspiration.
Amen. Amen. So can you tell us a great moment with him? Something that puts a smile on your face.
There's tons of them, man. There's tons of them. He did impersonations and stuff. And he would do like famous actors like Denzel and stuff like that. But he would also do our group of friends. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. and one time he like, man, I finally got you down packed. And he started doing this little impersonation of me. I don't think he had it all the way together. But,
he was making an impersonation of you.
Yeah. And he thought he had me, and other people laughed. Maybe he did have me, but me, I'm looking at it like, that ain't me. Uh-huh. You know what I'm saying? But maybe if he had a little bit more time, he would have been able to figure it out the right way. But I just had a lot of great real life friendship experiences with him. Even when we first met, I knew he was an artist. He knew I was an artist. And we never did music in the first years because it wasn't about that. It was about our bond and our friendship. And then we end up doing just a ton of music. So I got a ton of records with him, and I'm glad that I have those, you know. And even on my last project, before he passed, he dropped a verse for me. Wow. So I got to have him on that was the last anybody heard of him, was on my project.
Wow.
Oh, wow. And there's more, right? There's a lot more that you have of him, you and him.
Records?
Yeah.
Nah. All the records we put out.
You put out?
Yeah. The one thing, there was one record that he wanted to do on his last project, because he put out his last project before he passed. So he was able to see it come out, but he passed shortly after it came out. And when he got sick, there was one song that he wasn't able to record because he was too sick. And so that song would never come to fruition. And I just wish he had the time to put that together, you know? But yeah, it's still something that like affects me to this day, you know, because it's not one of those situations where like, man, he had some beef and somebody took him out, you know what I'm saying? He had a sickness, he got sick. That could happen to anybody, you know what I'm saying? It really puts life into perspective, and I try to just make sure moving forward that I don't take any moment for granted. You know, because time is precious. It's the most valuable thing in life. It's more valuable than money because you could always get $1 back. You can't get a minute back.
Yep.
So let me know how that tastes.
Man, this looks amazing. We got all kinds of fruits and all kinds of stuff going on here. I'm gonna take a bite and let you know how it is. Look at that, so good, it's falling apart. Bro,
Great.
this is delicious, yep.
Awesome. Thank you. So if you guys are interested in that, look at this. They're right down the street. I'll put the name, description, everything on the bottom of this this post. Gotta go. Peace. It's Flava.
Yeah, this looks right here like a big old chocolate chip.
Tell me how it tastes.
I'll tear it up, bro. Bro, stop it. Look at it.
Oh wow.
Shut the door, bro.
So the flavor engineer, you say yes, thumbs up?
Thumbs up, bro.
All right.
Sorry, I can't talk, but
Let's go.
Oh, I agree.
So now these days, what puts a smile on Astonish's face?
Um,
Where's your happiness?
My family, man. My family, my son. You know, I'm getting older in life. I got a 2-year-old. There was moments in life where I felt like I'm probably just never gonna have kids. You know what I'm saying? And now it happened, and now I just can't imagine a life without them. You know what I'm saying? And that's my biggest joy. That's my biggest accomplishment in life. Like, that's what I live for, breathe for, is him. You know what I'm saying? And to make sure that he don't have to go through the same type of things that I had to go through in life. And even if he does, that I make the journey a little bit easier for him.
Word. I love that.
I'd like to know where your name came from. How did you get the name Astonish? That's what I like to know.
You know, my first rap names, I was like Protege, things like that. I'm like,
You weren't like,
yeah, I was like all type of different things. But like I said, I was in a rap group, and it was RNA. It was my rap partner. His name was Risque. So it was Risque and Astonish. But he's the one that actually gave me my rap name. And he was like, your real name is Andre. You could keep the A, and it'd be Astonish, and you could rhyme so many things with it. And I was like, that's cool. But also it worked for me because I would run into this issue where I go to the studios and stuff and be around a whole bunch of rap artists and stuff. And everybody kind of rapped. Not like they do today, because everybody raps today. But before, like, you find a rap, oh, you rap too? Oh, okay. So when they'll look at me, they'll be like, I never really was the first one to be like, oh, I rap. It was always my friends. They'll be like, oh, yeah, he could spit. So then people be like, they'll look at me, they'll be like, oh, okay. And then I'll spit. And then when I start rhyming, they'll be like, oh, no, you rap for real. You know what I'm saying? So Astonish kind of, it fit. You know what I'm saying? Oh, you ain't expect this from me. So guess what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna astonish you.
I like that.
Yeah. So it went well, and
So that's a good story, man. That's a real good story. Let me ask you this: what's the difference between today's rappers and rappers when you were growing up? And what I mean by that, nowadays you got streaming services, right? How did you hustle to get out there?
I sold CDs like after the show. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, I got these CDs, you know what I'm saying? And people was just buying it hand in hand like drug deals, you know what I'm saying?
See, that's a hustle.
Yeah, like it was like hustle. That. It wasn't, you know, you did like eventually get to like hard drives. So people get like flash drives and stuff.
Yeah.
And then start selling those. Like, yo, I got this flash drive, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It started turning into that. But I would say the biggest thing is people rapped for passion back when I first started. You know, you really wanted to be the best. It really meant something to do that. But then a lot of the street elements started coming into music. Even when I was in it, like the street people was backing the artists, you know? I had some situations where street people wanted to back me. I just didn't want to tie myself into all of that because there's a lot of problems that come with that also. So before street people were backing it, and then street people started figuring out, I'm going to just put this money into me, and they not even artists. They just seen it as a hustle. So they like, okay, I live this life. I could rap about a street element, and I can make some money off of it. Yeah. So rap stopped becoming a passion and became a hustle. It became something to make dollars. And that's when everything flipped, because this industry ain't really about passion nowadays. That's why you see the lack in bars. Now, you can still find them. It's a lot of spitters out here. You got to dig in the crates for them. But a lot of the popular music today is because it's just a street person this is a flip for them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
So it's more about the beat now. See, back then in the 90s or in the early 2000s, I'm old, so that's why I said 90. I'm not going to put him in that. So back then in the 90s, it was all about, everybody had a different voice, right? People didn't sound the same, right? You had Common. He would come out. I Used to Love Her, which was probably one of the best songs I ever liked, man. The way he broke down I Used to Love Her, oh my
Classic.
God.
It got him in the beef, but
so well, Ice Cube.
Yeah,
Wait,
got
was
him in
the
the
beef there?
Yeah. Because Ice Cube thought that he was talking about them. You know that line where he says, I wasn't salty, she was with them boys in the hood.
Gotcha.
So like he thought that, okay, that whole West Coast narrative, like he thought that Common was dissing him. So, but he wasn't really dissing him. He was just showing his perspective on what music was, you know? But yeah, it got him into that beef.
So let me ask you something. So, I mean, I'm pretty sure you still have your ear to the streets, right? You ain't one of those people that say, you know what? I'm not listening to music anymore, right? Because they're not making it the way I'm speculating. What upcoming artists are you listening to from the Shy right now that you said, man, you know what? There's still hope here.
That's a good question.
There's still hope in this city.
It's a couple of them. It's a guy named Def C. He's really dope. There's a guy named I Am God. He's really dope. Fillmore Green. Brittany Carter.
Okay.
She's dope. And then there's the ones that I've known that's just been hustling to this day, like Chris Crack, like Saba, you know what I'm saying, which I mentioned before. Yeah, I would say those.
So where do you? So you know, Chicago, we had a big breakout, right? With track, was it a drill music, right?
Yeah.
That took this world by storm.
Yeah.
You know, for the people that don't know, there's different types of music here, right? We have conscious rappers.
For sure. We have all the elements.
Where do you see today's Chicago style heading forward?
I think sky's the limit, man. Chicago's just a melting pot of cultures. So we got a little bit of everything. It's like a one-stop shop. So I really think sky's the limit for Chicago as far as that. The funny thing about it is when I first came in the game, right, there was really no eyes on Chicago. So you really had to struggle to make it from here. And I was actually still involved heavily when the drill scene came. And it brought more eyes and more attention to the city. But it seemed like everybody that was trying to focus on Chicago was only here for the drill.
Right.
You know? And that's the part that threw it all off. Because we had the eyes, but the eyes was here for specific reasons. You know what I'm saying? And there's so much more talent in this city. Honestly, like a whole lot of people just got overlooked that could have really did something and popped in the city. Even like the cool kids, even though the cool kids was popping, they didn't really get the shine that they deserved because like people was just interested in the drill element of everything. Even kids in the hall, they had Knowledge, who's from the city. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Knowledge. I know he's still doing things, but they could have been a whole lot bigger. So it's a whole lot of missed opportunities just by that shift in that dynamic. You know what I'm saying? But the drill culture, it like established a whole lot. It influenced the whole generation. And now even New York is doing drill right now. And it's the most popular thing in New York.
It like took over, right?
Yeah.
Like Chicago was so big and now it's New York.
Yep.
That even went overseas, right? Even London.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep, the UK scene, they all doing drill.
They're all doing drill, man. Yeah, I remember when drill hit, I was like, okay, this is something different, right? But I was just thinking about the other music here in Chicago. So let me ask you something. So right now, do we have any female popping artists that are up and coming from Chicago that we should be watching? Like, yo, she's up next, man.
Brittany Carter, who I mentioned before, for sure. Brittany Carter. I don't really know too much outside of that. But it's not because there's not any. It's just because I haven't really been doing my due diligence. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But I know for sure Brittany Carter is one of those that's popping right now.
Right now in Chicago.
Yeah,
I'm gonna have to go check her out.
For
man.
sure. And people know, like, I don't even have to say like No Name Gypsy. I think she just goes by No Name right now. But she already been popping. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, she was also on Acid Rap.
Okay,
with Chance the Rapper.
Chance, which is probably one of the biggest albums she's ever had, right?
That's the one that established everything.
Wow. Have you ever worked with any of these artists like Chance the Rapper or Lupe Fiasco, Common, or let me change this up a little bit.
What's up, man?
If you had a choice, all right, to work with a Chicago artist, all right, who would it be?
If I had a choice,
if you're coming out with a single and there's a feature you could have, and it has to be known artist. When I say known artist, I'm talking about like
upscale,
everybody knows.
It's hard to ask that question and not answer Kanye West.
Dang, he said yay.
Yeah, it's hard to not go Yeezy with that, because anything else you're doing yourself a disservice.
Well, why is it Yeezy?
I mean, he's just one of the greatest artists to ever come from Chicago, and just he's a genius, you know? Whether you want the feature like a verse or you want him on production, he could do it all. If you go with somebody else, you're probably just looking for a verse. You know what I'm saying? But I would say him. I would say like No ID.
No
just
ID.
As far as
that's
production.
Another one. Yep.
I really feel like the style of music that I create, like No ID would be perfect for that format.
Yo, No ID, man. Come on, man.
Yeah, and shout out to No ID because he did some work with Saba as well.
Look at that, man.
You know.
I always thought, listening to your music, since I'm a fan, I always thought it was more like a Common.
You know what's funny about that? It goes back to the first question that you asked, if I did any work with these artists. Right. I actually opened up for Lupe at the House of Blues before. And I was asked to actually rap a Common verse for his 20-year anniversary of one of his albums. I forget which album I did.
Is it the one with Kick Push?
No, Common.
Oh, Common. Oh.
Yeah. So Common, I did the 20th anniversary to one of his albums.
Oh.
And it was a bunch of Chicago artists out there that came and did verses off the record. And I did that. He, unfortunately, Common couldn't make an appearance, but he did a video appearance, just thanking everybody for coming out and the support. But yeah, like I haven't really, those upper echelons, like I haven't got to touch them in that aspect of us working together and doing anything like that. The only one is MC Juice.
Okay.
Juice, I actually did a song with him and Vakil. And that was such a great experience. And for people that don't know who Juice is, J.U. Ice. And from Chicago, he battle rapped Eminem. He beat Eminem in the battle rap.
I seen the footage on that.
Come on, man. Like, do your due diligence, man. This is actually one of our legends, man, and we gotta hold him close, man. He's super dope. And when I met him, he's such a super dope person, too. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times you meet these artists and you might look up to them as artists, but you can't look up to them as the individual that they are just in real life.
That's what I was going to ask you. How many of these artists that you had in your head, you look up to them, or you hold them in a high, on a high pedestal? Then when you meet them, you're like, they're not.
Man,
and you don't have to mention no names. I'm not going to put you out there.
Mention it.
Mention Sammy Sosa.
Yeah, I did. I threw Sammy under the bus. But you know what? I got into a little thing with Juju from the Beat Nuts, man.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, man. It kind of broke my heart, dog.
Me too right now.
Yeah, because I grew up listening to them.
Right.
And I did a show at the Double Door. We opened up for him, me and my homie Scheme and DJ Send. And it was cool. We having a good time. We put on a good show. They was obviously the closing act, so they came up there. Psycho Les was cool as hell. Juju was cool for the first part of it too. They brought us up on stage while they was performing. The thing is, Juju just decided throughout their set he was gonna just turn up a bottle of Jameson. He killed the whole bottle of Jameson. By the end of the set, it was gone. So he drunk out his mind.
Oh.
So it was cool. They still had a good show. I was feeling good about the experience. But afterwards, I was like in the green room, and I was coming out, and he was trying to come in with a group of girls. And if I'm throwing you under the bus, Juju, I don't know your situation at home, if you got somebody or not. I'm just telling it.
This was years ago.
I'm telling it like it is, brother. Yeah. Maybe y'all was on bad terms that week.
Yeah.
So, but I'm coming out. He trying to get a group of girls in, and the security was like, they not allowed to be up in here. You know what I'm saying? And it was a female security at the door. She wasn't trying to have it. So he like, I'm the artist. She like, I'm supposed to protect y'all. I'm the artist. Like, I'm saying they good with me to go in with me. So she like, nah. So then finally, another security guard came in and was like, let him through. You know what I'm saying? So she like, all right, I'll let you through, but you gotta tell me who's with you. So I had stopped. Like, I'm in the green room. I'm coming out. I'm behind the little line, the little barricade, and I'm watching this unfold. I'm being nosy at this point. So he goes, she's with me, she's with me, she's with me. I don't know who he is. And he points at me.
Oh.
Brother, I was just on stage with you. What is you talking about? So I'm like, bro, obviously I'm already in here, dog. I don't need your help to get back here. I'm already back here, dog. I already got access.
That puts you on the spot, though, because now they're looking at you.
Yeah, so now I'm like, bro, you just trying to play me out in front of your little groupies? Like, come on, dog. So it was like a little thing right there, but he was like, it's cool, I ain't want no problems, brother. It's cool, it's good. And I was like, man, it just put a sour taste in my mouth with Juju. I'm like, come on, man. So I ain't listened to Beat Nuts for like 10 years after that. You know what I'm saying?
They dope. They're mad dope.
No one's ready to... I was like, cut it off.
I had the same situation with Fredro Starr.
Did you?
Oh yeah, you remember
Man.
La Tropicana de Café?
I seen him there too.
Yeah. The fight nights. Remember the fight nights?
Yep. He was drunk.
We were there with
Oh
my
my
crew.
God.
I was there with my crew. He was there with a few people. I think he was filming a movie here or something like that.
Onyx, Frederick,
And
start for
he
Onyx.
came and hang out with me and Mello. I was with Mello.
Yeah, yeah.
And BWS. And shout out to BWS. And of course, we got back then. I'm a married man now, but back then we had some females around us.
Yeah.
Well, he liked one of the females that was in our group, and that was cool with us because she's just in the group.
Yeah.
But the female always goes for the guy that runs the crew. You already know who that was. So he got ill with that guy. So I'm not gonna say who that person is, but he got ill with that guy.
Right.
And he got drunk, and then we almost got into it with him.
Man,
Radio Star.
that
or
liquor.
a female that he didn't even know that was with us. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Alcohol is one hell of a drug, man.
Oh yeah.
But I really had great moments with artists, to be honest, man. Like when I opened up for Bun B, he was so gracious. He invited me up to the green room after the show and whatever.
Man.
Really cool dude. Freddie Gibbs, also like super cool dude.
He's from what, Indiana,
He from
right?
Gary, Indiana. Yeah. So I for the most part, I had great experiences in dealing with other artists, but I think at the end of the day, look, it was super dope. On my first album, I got Terminology. And for if y'all listening, y'all don't know who Terminology is, do your homework on him. He was actually in a Drake video as well. With Bun B, because he really tight with Bun B. But I got Terminology on my first album, and I did a show at South by Southwest. And when I was...
That just happened this weekend.
Yeah, so this is my first show at South by Southwest.
Wow.
And when South by Southwest, when I went out there, Sean Price was still alive. I met Sean Price out there.
Okay.
Cool as hell. And you would just see artists walking down the street, bro. It ain't like that now. Now it's way more Hollywood.
Yep.
Before it was like grassroots, man. You could see your favorite artist just walking down the street. But I did a show, and I had all my posters and flyers up for my album. And it said featuring Terminology on there, And Terminology actually come to the show. Damn. I didn't even know. It was just like, it was something that was just like heaven did it. You know what I'm saying? Because he didn't know I was performing there or nothing. So he come in and he looking at the flyer, and my guy was like, yo, what's up, Terminology? He like, Astonish up over here. So he ended up coming through, kicking it with me, invite me to his show the next night. And he was with Static Selector and all of that. So we went to his show the next night, and we kicked it with them. Cool as hell, you know what I'm saying? So it's just, man, I've had overwhelmingly great experiences with artists. And the times that hasn't been so pleasant is actually dealing with other Chicago artists.
Why is it every time we speak to a Chicago artist, they always mention the same thing? There's no love or support within our own
I think
city.
when I
What's
first
up with
started
that?
in the scene, because I think it's a little bit tighter now. A lot of people mess with each other now. But back when we first started, it was really segregated. Like, what side of the city you from, even? You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
But I had a problem with one artist, and the crazy thing about it is, me and that artist was just at South by Southwest, and we was chopping it up. But this artist used to be on Moment Records, and he had an issue with them.
Can you say who the artist is? You don't have to.
No, the artist is Matlock.
Word.
So Matlock, he used to be on Moment Records. We was over there kicking it face to face. You know what I'm saying? I don't have no issue with dude. You know what I'm saying? Like, everything was cool. We actually had a good time. But we come back to the city, and this is probably like a couple weeks after that. I had a show at Northeastern College. You know what I'm saying? And I was a headlining act. So he threw a little issue with the promoters and people that's throwing the event.
Because they put him up in the headline.
Yeah, because I was a headliner. And he was telling them, I didn't pay my dues out here. You got this new artist, and he performing
Right, because you came you came, not to cut you off, but you came. Moment was already established.
Yeah. Yup.
Were you the last one that came in as an artist?
Me and my homie Decay.
Okay.
Yeah, we
so
came
he was already
in.
there when you got there.
No, he was already out.
Oh, he was out already.
Yeah,
So
he was
in and
already out.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And when I first got with Moment, I didn't know the history behind him. I had learned all of these things afterwards. I didn't even know when I met him at South by Southwest that he had an issue. So it was nothing but love. You know what I'm saying? When you go outside of the city, the crazy thing is when you inside of the city, Chicago artists, they'll see you, they'll walk right past you, like whatever.
Yeah.
But when you outside of the city, you kind of like come together.
Click up.
Yeah, you like, oh, you from the city, da da da. You know what I'm saying? So we would really be tight with each other. So we come back to the city. We got this show. He all up in the promoter's ear talking about, I paid my dues and you got this dude performing after me. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not right. You just throwing a fit. So the promoters called me, man, you know, would you mind performing before him? There's an artist that's giving us a little problems or whatever, and, you know, they don't want to perform after you. So I was like, you know what? I ain't going to give y'all no hard time. The only thing I ask of y'all is just tell me who the person is. And they was like, we don't want to cause no issue. Look, ain't going to be no issue. I just need to know this for myself. I ain't going to cause y'all no static. I'm getting paid to be up there. You know what I'm saying? I'm not messing up my bag. It is what it is. Right. So they tell me who it is. It's Matlock. All right, cool. I'm like, Matlock? We was just over there politicking. You know what I'm saying? Like, now you got an issue? You ain't have an issue in my face.
Right.
So now I'm like, all right, it is what it is, though, right? Okay, I got an undercover hater. Right. So we go to the show. Everything's going smooth. It come up to my go. I got a packed crowd. I go ahead and perform. Kill the show. Magnificent. Chef's kiss. You know what I'm saying?
I already know what happened. Go ahead.
At the end of my set, everybody leave.
I knew it.
Everybody
he's the
leave.
Headliner.
Right.
They know he's the headliner.
Right.
Bro,
They ain't gonna wait
there to see him.
Right. They ain't gonna wait.
I stood at the show. I watched them fail. He over there performing for nobody. It's like,
damn. Did he look at you?
that's what it was. Just like
a silent,
instant karma. I'm like, well, good for you. You know what I'm saying? And then after that, he put out a diss record against Moment Records, and he mentioned me in the diss record. Yeah.
He did a hit him up?
Yeah.
No.
Did you clap back?
Nah, I didn't. I was looking for him. I wanted to see the man.
Right.
A couple of them over there wanted to see him, but he didn't show his face for a long time. But then, you know what? I ain't even trying to bring up old drama because we squashed it since then.
Right.
Everything's smooth, and it really wasn't a super issue. My thing was just like, you putting my name in some stuff. We was just kicking it. You ain't say that to me. You know what I'm saying? And it is what it is. But
it's history. It's just history.
Yeah, it's the reality of it. And I ain't come over here to the Flava Podcast to sugarcoat nothing. I came here to be honest and truthful and speak facts. You know what I'm saying? I will never do y'all wrong like that. So that's it's a little bit of Chicago history. And thank God it's really not like that nowadays. Now people kind of like coincide with each other, you know, they united.
Why do you think that's happening, where people are now uniting, doing the Voltron thing instead of, you know, doing the...
I think it's just the more you know type of situation. You know what I'm saying? People understood that wasn't really getting us nowhere. And people knew that, like, we kind of got to come together as Chicago because there's a lot of talent out here. So let's start working with each other and not against each other.
That's a lot of genres, too, because we get the same thing when it comes to hip house. When it comes to house music, it's the same thing. Yeah.
You
know, like my partner was saying, they come on our show and they always say, Chicago just hates on each other.
Yeah, man, it's been a real thing. Even with Chicago Rocks, you know. Chicago Rocks that's actually how I got into Moment. I didn't really know their history. I just knew of this event called Chicago Rocks that was thrown every year. And I wanted to perform one year. So I ended up hitting up the dude that I knew through it. This is MySpace days. I hit him up on the MySpace.
You said what?
He said MySpace, bro.
I hit him on the MySpace,
He said
dog.
this before, whenever we were sitting down. He said
MySpace.
MySpace took me
Yeah.
back.
That
I
was
hit
a Facebook, right?
Yeah,
back then, right?
yeah.
I was like 200
Yeah.
pounds, 200 pounds more than this back
So,
then.
man, I hit up the MySpace. My man Panic from Moment Records, he's the head over there. And I sent him a message and I was like, man, I know you don't know me, but I deserve to be on this show, man. Like, I'm one of the best in the city. Just listen to my music.
Yeah.
And on MySpace, you can see when they read it. So I see you read the thing, but he didn't respond back to me. So I'm like, man, was I too arrogant? You know what I'm saying? I'm questioning, like, man, maybe I could have worded that differently. But eventually, he ended up hitting me back, and he was like, you know, we got the show all booked right now. I can't really get you on, but what's your situation? Like, are you signed to somebody? Because I listen to your music really good. So we end up having a meeting, and the rest is history. That's how I ended up on Moment Records. And I still ended up performing on Chicago Rocks that year at both days, because they had 2 events. They had one at the Abbey Pub, rest in peace, because it's no longer.
Yeah.
And they had the next day was at the Metro. You know, and I performed at both those events. And there was a guy in high school, right? And when I would be in high school, he knew I rapped. And he would be trying to put me on the MC Juice and Moment and all of these underground rappers in the city, because I ain't really know about them. So he was trying to do the homework with me. You know what I'm saying? This is what it is, man. These are the artists you got to pay attention to. So he put me on game. So when I end up doing Chicago Rocks, I go to the bathroom, right? He come in and he in the next urinal next to me.
What?
I'm like, yo, what's up, man? He said, damn, I ain't seen you since high school. I graduated 2004. You know what I'm saying?
Word.
This is like 2007, 2008, somewhere around that time frame. So he like, man, what's up? What you do? You can't even watch the show? I said, man, actually, I'm on the show. He said, you on the show? I said, yeah, and I'm part of Moment Records. He said, man, get out of here. So it was like a crazy experience. You know what I'm saying?
By the urinal.
Yeah, by the urinal. At that time, we maneuvered from the urinal. You know what I'm saying? I don't like to talk to nobody when
You were just not standing there talking to somebody.
I don't even like that person that come right next to you and there's another one. Like, you could have went over there, homie.
There's 2 next to that one.
What's
Come
your
on.
motivation for being right here now? You know what I'm saying?
Man, don't even look at me in my eye. Do not look at me in my eye, my brother. We taking a piss,
Well, if you looking at him in his eye, that's the issue too.
I'm looking
You
down.
only know if you looking at your eye, you looking at his eye.
I'm looking down. Do not look into my eyes, motherfucker. Let me ask you something. All right, so, man, it sounds like you've been in the game for a long time, my brother.
It's been a minute.
So you have a 2-year-old son, right?
Mm-hmm.
What's his name?
Austin.
Austin.
Yeah, it goes with Astonish. You know what I'm saying? So we wanted to keep that same format. So it's actually Auston.
Which that's going to roll into my question right now. Mm-hmm. How would you feel if he said, Dad, I want to be a rapper just like you?
I would hope that he dope. Because if he whack, then it's going to be a harder thing to navigate through. I'll be like, listen, you just ain't got it like that. You know, but if he got anything from me, man, then I think that he'll do well with it. You know, I would just, I would try to guide him and give him like, you know, I don't really think that you could teach somebody how to be like great at that. You could kind of show them and navigate like, okay, study this, and then you got to just let them see what they do with it. But yeah, I think it would be an honor if he stepped in my footsteps in that. You know, I would just want him to be good and also to like not follow a wave, you know, be your own individual. Tell your own story.
Yes.
You know, because what people don't realize is like we're all separate individuals. We all have our different stories to tell, and that makes us unique, just like our fingerprints. You know what I'm saying? Just like a snowflake.
Yep.
There's no two alike. There's nobody that goes through the same trials and tribulations that you do.
Yeah.
You know, your story is unique to you. So tell your story in the way that it needs to be told. And And
love it.
I just, if he gets into music, just be yourself, man.
Just and, one more thing. Just make sure his name doesn't start with little or baby, because every rapper out here right now is little.
Yeah, but
Lil
Wayne, I was the Lil Wayne fan.
Okay, but he was a first. He was a first.
There was because there was like Lil Zane.
Yeah.
Lil Zane was before
Lil
him?
Zane, yeah, he was before.
Little Bow Wow.
Nah, Lil Bow Wow wasn't before Lil Wayne.
Was it?
Nah,
Really?
nah. Lil Bow Wow
I don't
came
know.
afterwards.
Are you serious?
Yeah, Lil Bow Wow came afterwards. He came after.
I'm gonna have to look that up.
Look it up, man. Hip hop
Look
trivia,
that up.
man. Hip hop trivia.
I would have to say Lil Wayne is one of the best rappers out there.
Yeah, and you gotta
I
understand,
agree.
Lil Wayne's first album is called The Block Is Hot. That's his first mainstream album.
Mm-hmm.
But before that, he had a project with BG. Like it was like a group project.
Mm-hmm.
Way before that. So when mainstream first starts hearing about Lil Wayne, it's not the first of Lil Wayne, because they was actually popping in Louisiana way before everybody else
facts.
got a hold of
Yeah,
them.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I used to listen to Lil Wayne before he even made an album. So he used to pop off on mixtapes back then. Back then it was just about I'm sorry. He might have came out with an album, but there used to be this one website called livemixtapes.com, and Lil Wayne used to just slam it with mixtapes, man. And when I heard Lil Wayne, just the way he flipped them words, man,
amazing.
Oh my God. I mean, he was a kid. He was a kid. He was part of the Hot Boys. He was the young, you had Juvie over there. Juvie was, and BG, he just came out and whatnot.
Yeah.
Did you hear that song, BG?
Where he dissed Wayne?
Yeah, what was all that about,
He
man?
said they just talk like that.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is with them, but they got some type of internal thing going on. I just stay out of it. Lil Wayne, they never say nothing about it.
Nah.
And actually, when everybody left, Lil Wayne wrote some songs just saying how that split affected him and just how much love that he had for all of them.
Yep.
And he just always kept it that way. But before we even go any further, I do want to give a shout out to Ace Mack. Because Ace Mack was
I haven't heard that name in a while.
yeah, he was
man.
part of 108 Records and Logan Square Boy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And when I was coming up, I met Ace Mack at Kosciuszko Park in Logan Square.
Come on, somebody.
Yeah, and I knew we was rapping for each other, and I was like, man, this dude as talented as me. At that time, you feel like the biggest about yourself. And to meet him and his talent, I was like, man, I was really impressed. And he was one of the first ones to come out the city that I knew, that I seen, that was right before my eyes. And to do something that major, he was on the Make It Rain
remix with Fat Joe
and them. And he was with Terror Squad, and
So
you know what I'm saying?
I was really looking forward to him. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what his situation.
I know, I actually know, the behind the scenes elements of certain things, but that's not my story to tell.
Yeah.
But I will say,
is he
man,
still in Chicago?
I think he'd be back and forth from here in Miami.
Miami, okay.
But I don't really know him personally like
He's
that.
Boricua,
As far
right?
as he's, I think he's Cuban actually.
Oh, Cuban. Okay.
Yeah, I think he's Cuban. But real dope artist, man, and
man, I
really
remember
somebody that when I seen him on his come up, I was like, man, it felt like we can do this. You know what I'm saying? Because that was the first person I seen with my own eyes do something with himself. And it's really unfortunate that nothing else happened with that because he's such an immense talent. But yeah, Ace Mack is that dude, man. And I actually do wish that me and him did some work together.
Man, that'll be great, man.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome. Yo, so we got some trivia. We're going to do the trivia part right now. So, Jay, can you get a little closer to my man there for you can be the same camera?
What are we doing?
What are we doing,
man?
This is something new for the Flava Podcast.
What's up, man?
We're going to put Jay on the spot. Jay is the reigning champion of
out of
90s and 2000s hip-hop and R&B.
What was that game? Trouble? Was it Trouble?
Yeah, so whoever hits it first,
Is that
whoever
what
hits
this
it first
is?
gets to answer the question.
Let me see what happens, though.
There you
Okay,
go.
all right,
There you go.
bet.
That's cool. All right, so
Okay, so let me ask you this, though.
What's up?
Go ahead.
What if he hits the buzzer and he gets the answer wrong?
Then you get to.
I get a
to
shot?
answer.
Okay, bet.
So
I'm gonna do the no look.
okay, this is R&B. A lot of R&B here. Okay. What did Destiny's Child ask you to pay?
The bills, man.
Pay the bills. All right. We got one for Astonish. According to Alicia Keys.
Wait. Hold on. So I just took his?
What do you mean?
No, you won. You
won
got
that
1
one.
point.
Oh, okay.
You won that one.
So this
One
was
point.
so
One
this
point
is
for that.
strictly a question for me?
No.
For the both of us.
Okay,
whoever
okay,
answers
baby.
it
All
first.
right.
You got the first point.
Okay, man.
You
Got
got
you.
it.
I'm following.
Man, this guy got some. I'm gonna have to get a little closer.
Dude, he's trying to win the
He was even.
No, he wasn't, but he was slow. But he said, well, I don't know what you were doing.
Looking at you. I'm just gonna listen to you. I'm just gonna be.
All right. According to Alicia Keys, some people live for their fortune, fame, power, and what else? I'm gonna say that again. According to Alicia Keys, some people live for the Astonish.
Some people live just to play the game.
Astonish got it. 2 points for
He's
Astonish.
kicking my ass, y'all.
All right, here we go. In We Belong Together, what did Mariah Carey lose when she left?
A part of me, a part of her.
Part of her. He got
Okay.
it. 1 point for JJ.
All right, I'm coming back, baby. I'm coming back. Let's go.
I'm sorry, Mariah.
You on fire?
Okay, here we go. What did Trey Songz say you're going to think?
Damn it.
He invented sex.
Yeah.
Astonish got it. That's 3
I don't
for
know how I
Astonish.
feel about saying that, but that's what he said.
All right. Okay, here we go. What is the feeling that Cisco just can't turn loose? What is the feeling that Cisco just can't turn loose?
Somebody else getting next to you.
Wow, Astonish
getting
gets it
there.
again. All right, here we go. That was
What's
a good
that?
one.
1 to 4, 1 to 5?
He got 4, you got 1.
Oh, I got to come back.
Okay,
You got it, man. You got it.
I don't know that one myself, so I'm gonna change it. What would be the reason Maxwell smiles?
Your face.
Wow, he got it. Number 5 for Astonish. Here we go.
Man, this is a slaughter rule. What's
Okay.
a slaughter rule, bro?
I think it just started.
I think if he gets 2 more,
think it
it's a
just
slaughter
started.
rule. He just got it.
Okay, this is a hip hop question, all right?
Uh-oh.
Y'all both get ready because this one you both I know gonna know.
He could keep the R&B.
Outcast said they're the type of people that do what? Let me say that again because I butchered that.
Man.
Outcast said they're the type of people that do what?
Freaky things?
No.
This type of people.
I'm gonna say that one more time. Outcast
No,
said
no, this is
they're
on
the
Bombs
type of
Over
people
Baghdad.
that did
Type of
did
people.
what? Or do what?
Be the type. Oh man,
fresh and
I'm gonna be
clean?
so
They're-
mad
they're-
at this.
You
man.
out, bro. You're out.
That's it. I don't get no more
No,
chances.
you out.
Damn.
He's got one more. He could answer it, and if he gets it wrong, he gets it wrong. He gets it right. he
Man,
gets it wrong.
I gotta
What is
bow
it?
out.
Make
man.
the club crunk.
Yeah, man.
All right. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. You got 3 more questions.
I'm not going to catch up with this. He won.
Hush that fuss.
If you nuck and you bunk, what are you ready to do?
Fight.
Fight. 6 for Astonish.
That's
Let's go.
Lil
Let's
Scrappy,
go.
right?
No, that's
No, if you buck.
That's I forgot that who.
I forgot the artist.
I forgot the artist. This is a group though.
Where was Biggie going?
Back to Cali.
Back to Cali. And the last one. This is an R&B question for the win, even though he already won.
He killed me.
How did Carl Thomas know it was love at first sight? How did Carl Thomas know it was love at first sight?
From the way you looked at me.
Astonish gets it again. Let's give it up for Astonish.
Yo, if this was
Drop that bomb in the back. Drop
Hey.
that bomb in the back.
Oh, now we dropping bombs. Yo, if this was Street Champs, I would have been drunk right now. That would have been like 9 shots right
Yeah, as hell. You would have been drunk as hell, man.
That was some good stuff. Astonish, we thank you for coming down to the
Absolutely,
Flava
my
Podcast,
brother.
man.
Thank you, man,
Man,
for blessing us,
gratitude,
bro.
man.
Blessed us. But
Absolutely.
before we go, can you drop your tags? You can tell people where to reach you, where to see you.
Everything is at Astonish Who. That's at, you all know the at symbol. ASTONISHWHO. and that's on all like platforms. But if you go into Apple Music or Spotify, all y'all gotta do is type in Astonish, and I'm right there. There is an imposter Astonish. He got like a song called Jamaican Love or something. That's not me. So if y'all see that one, just X-nay that one. That's not me. All the rest of the Astonish, that's your boy.
All right.
Okay, real quick. Next 5 years, what do you see for yourself?
Probably doing what y'all doing, man. Starting a podcast up.
Sir.
I definitely feel like, before even in doing rap and stuff, like I wanted to get into like maybe radio hosting and stuff of that nature. And just podcasts has opened up a whole different opportunity of where I feel like I could have a voice and thrive in. And not just talk about music, just talk about just other things, hot topics and stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Pretty good for hot topics, man.
Yeah,
Off the dome. That was off the dome.
man, yeah. So I see me doing that. I see me still creating music, and I see me just developing my son into what he's gonna grow into, and just trying to navigate him through these Chicago streets. Because the biggest thing for me is I know growing up, there's a lot of things that I went through that I didn't share with my parents. All of these things because I didn't even know how they would feel of me relaying this information to them. So I know that there's things in life that he's not going to tell me. And I just want to make sure that he don't have to go through all of the things that I didn't tell my parents just in life, because it's very scary areas and very scary places that you end up. And especially doing music back then, you traveling around, going from north to south to the west side and all of these places and venturing off. And you know how gangbanging Chicago is. Now they don't really trip on the colors like that like they used to back in the day. But before, they used to trip on what color you wearing. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't just that your hat was broke off a little bit. You know what I'm saying? So just trying to navigate him through that in these next 5 years. He'll be 7 at that time. And just living and loving life, man, and continuing to have experiences and to continue to share my voice and to try to spread positivity into this world that's so full of negativity, and just hope that shines through.
I love that you said that because Flava Podcast, it's about positivity, community, and culture. That's what we're about.
Yes, sir.
Last question, sir.
What's up?
You ready for it? If you had a superpower, this is my partner's favorite part. If you had a superpower, what would it be?
Okay. If I had a superpower, what would it be? That's a good question, man. I'm trying to think of like all the superheroes and what I would want from them. Probably to read minds, man. Just know what somebody thinking, because then you always got the upper hand. You know what I'm saying? You could understand just exactly what somebody feeling about you, even from your loved ones. Sometimes people want to say things, but they don't know how to say it to you. So just that you always get the real all the time. I know exactly what you thinking. I know exactly how to maneuver, how I'm gonna gauge this. So it probably to read minds.
Good stuff.
Awesome, good stuff. Let's put your hands together for Astonish.
Let's keep your hands going for the Flava Podcast.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Hey, what's up? It's your boy Los. And if you're trying to be on our podcast, you can reach us at los@flavapodcast.com. If you are an entrepreneur, you are a singer, you are a dancer, you're an actor, you're a politician, you want to get a word across, you got something good going on in Chicago, New York, Miami, wherever in the world, we're here to showcase you and to put you out there for people to help you out in what you're doing, all right? So that was Los, L-O-S, at flavapodcast.com.